Today is the day when Notcry comes out. I am so excited. I don't think that I've been this excited for a nation since Fontaine was released. So my excitement is up here right now. Anyway, there's about an hour left before maintenance even starts, and I have yet to even log in for the day. So let's go do that before it's too late. And while I do that, I'm going to go over the game plan. Okay, so this is what's on the agenda. I'm definitely going to be playing the Archon quest. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get into the Archon quest today because the servers come back online at 8 p.m. So chances are I'm probably not going to be able to finish it tonight, but that's okay because I'll just pick up where I left off tomorrow. I also want to do a little bit of exploration, probably in Notcry and maybe Natland as well. Originally, I wanted to get all of my Natland exploration and world quests done before Notcry comes out. However, the encounter points expire when the new region comes out, and I'm already losing almost 500 encounter points. I don't want to lose any more. However, I definitely don't want to sit here and just spend all of my time exploring Natland. I do want to sit down and explore at least some of Notcry as well. Then there's characters that I want to pull for. So I am planning on pulling for Lauma, and I'm planning on skipping Flynn's, which in all honesty is a very tough decision, mind you, but there's just so many characters from Notcry that I really want. Also, if I do end up getting lucky, I am hoping that I can at least pull one of Yulan's constellations. Yulan's been that character that I've been slowly but surely gathering up constellations every time that she reruns. I currently have her at C2, and I would love to get her at C3. The last character that I pulled for was Skirt, so I definitely have quite a few Primo Gems banked. I have about 60 pulls in just pure Primo Gems. I have the monthly shop reset pulls as well, as I have yet to be able to claim those pulls as I don't have enough of the currency. And I'm about 40-ish pity on the limited time banner. So all in all, I definitely do have enough to get up to the 50-50, and I'm about halfway there to the guarantee. And then I will build her. And with that, I will see you guys in Notcry. Welcome to Notcry. And yes, that is my genuine reaction to hearing the Traveler's voice. Totally wasn't expecting them to speak at all, but I'm very happy about it and will welcome more of it. Before starting the Archon quest, I'm going to run around and unlock some of the statues and teleport waypoints, just so that things will be a bit easier to get around from point A to point B while playing the Archon quest. Along the way, I am going to be picking up some of the Oculus and treasure chests as well, like right here. Also, these stairs tripped me out because I heard a chest spawning sound. However, when I looked for it, there was nothing there, which low-key sucks, because it did get my hopes up. And with that, we've unlocked the first statue of Notcry. I really like the statue design for this region, and I also love how the statue reflects the world around it. I also really love the menu and how it fits with the moon aspect of the nation. Well, now it's time to get walking to the next teleport waypoint. Never mind, there's a puzzle here. Let's solve this puzzle real quick before continuing. Now that that's done, let's go. Now, in between getting this teleport waypoint and the next one, I did double back to Nasha Town. For whatever reason, I probably ended up getting distracted and maybe did my dailies as well. However, regardless, here's a third teleport unlocked. And I am going to get the Oculus that's right here because why not? And while doing that, I decided to take in the glorious views of Notcry. I mean, doesn't the Fatui base look so ominous off in the distance? Almost like a looming threat of some sort. Now, I do have to say that I love Notcry's regional design. Even though that it's 3 separate islands and their own distinct features, somehow, in some way, they all flow and feel like they fit together. Not only that, but I feel like Notcry fits in with the rest of Genshin. Now, I do know that this is a diverse topic, and a lot of people have their own opinions. I enjoy Natland's regional aesthetic. Now, I know that a lot of people wanted something a bit more darker, a bit more grittier because of the whole war thing, and in all honesty, I think that I would have felt the same if we hadn't gotten Ochka Natlands and a few other darker regions as well. My only complaint about Natland's regional design, which also highlights some of my issues with the Archon quest, had other parts of Natland been darker. Like the Archon quest, characters, enemies, the Abyss, that sort of thing. Now, the reason why I'm saying saying all this is because of the word contrast. Having some bright and colorful areas to explore, while having a much more darker and grittier story, would have made the darker and grittier parts hit harder. Now with a little bit of the exploration out of the way, let's start the Archon quest.
Paimon, traveler, welcome to Notcry.
Paimon, this is where our spaceship landed when Ether and I first arrived in Teyvat. Huh?
She speaks.
Are you sure? But how come you've never mentioned that before? Seems pretty important to Paimon. But just now, setting foot on this land, I felt something. Let's see. Okay. Paimon's got our route all figured out. So, all that's left to say is, don't fall behind.
Look very closely, for standing before you is none other than Marionette, 7th of the Fatui Harbingers.
A harbinger? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. I only ate a teeny bit extra every day. Just a teensy bit extra.
That is objectively not a teensy bit extra.
You what? Those two Fatui? The ones who were causing trouble in Nasha Town? You went to teach them a lesson? And you put that in their food?
Who goes there? How did you get in here? I am but a passing traveler. I followed your song here. I'm very sorry if I've intruded. Wait, is that... Ether?
Then let's go.
Ether...
It's been ages since we went on an adventure together. I can't wait.
Really?
You think I'd lie to my little sis? Looks like the final trial is just up ahead. Ready for battle?
When have I ever not been?
What's wrong?
Going on an adventure with you side by side, it's been so exciting. But at the same time, it just feels surreal, I guess.
All right. Go get it for me, Lumine. It belongs to me. What's wrong, Lumine? After everything we've just been through, you still don't trust me? Don't you want to know the truth too? Just like I do? Rest assured, I'll share the truth with you afterwards. Now go, bring it to me.
There was either someone with impure intent, or else an abyssal presence.
Oh, by the way, Yehoda, before you go,
What is it, boss?
you're fired.
Huh?
Effective immediately. As in, this exact moment. The curatorium will take you back, of course, but only once you've completed this commission for our 3 clients.
What?
The moon is false. I reached that conclusion long ago. But there was no one I could tell. Not a single soul. At least, not until now. Am I the one who's wrong? Is it the moon that is false, or my own senses? I asked myself such questions time and time again.
Oh, moon goddess, forge weapons for us, drive out our enemies, and expand our lands. Oh, moon goddess, heal our wounds, Ease our suffering. Grant us strength. They asked for everything. And I obliged. Until the day came when no answer could be given. If mortals can turn to the gods when they are powerless, then who do the gods turn to when they have nothing left to give? Looks like we can control the elevator. Come on, hop in. Let's take it further down. We should be able to use the terminal to move the drawbridge. Here's the access card. I'll keep watch while you handle the controls. Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see!
Now, before I talk about my thoughts and feelings of the Archon quest, I'm going to quickly wish for Lauma right now. Because either way, if I end up winning my 50-50, or if I end up losing it, I will still have to do some sort of exploration. So while running around the map, either trying to grind for more Primo Gems, or grinding for her mats, I would still be exploring. Now on to some wishing.
Open your eyes. My name is Lauma, and here in the stillness of these woods, the light of the frost moon shines down generously on all. The gaze of the heavens will fall on you wherever you go. Now, close your eyes. You are no longer lost.
What? Nice. Now, as you can see within my reaction, I was quite surprised and happy to be able to get Lauma, because not only did I get Lauma within 50 pulls, but I also got her on her 50-50. The only downside to all this is that I was hoping that I would be able to do just a little bit more wishes, as I've been pretty much saving for a patch and a half now, and I was looking forward to be able to do just a few more rolls. However, regardless, I totally would not change the outcome of this. Plus, not to mention, I still have about 80 pulls saved up, so I'm definitely going to try to get up to Yolan's 50/50 when she comes out. However, if I do end up losing Yolan's 50/50, I don't know if I'm going to go up to her guarantee or just save that for a new character, as Nefer is coming out next patch, and I'm planning on pulling for her. So we'll just have to wait and see on how many pulls I have saved up by the end of this patch, plus also what type of content will be coming in the next patch. As for my thoughts on the Archon quest, I absolutely loved it, and they killed it with this quest. I thought that the pacing was good, the character writing was fantastic, the story was stellar. It was everything that I wanted and more. And in all honesty, it was quite refreshing from what I experienced in Natland. Now, before going forward, I am going to compare Nodcry to Natlands. As I said before, people have their own opinions, and I quite respect that. And in all honesty, if you enjoyed Natland, I am quite jealous. Not going to lie. Because unfortunately, Natland to me is my most hated Archon quest. And that's saying a lot because though there are some Archon quests that I didn't really enjoy, I never outright hated them. But Natland was quite different. Now, because Natland came out during the time that I had stepped away from making videos to focus more on my Farina cosplay, I was never able to fully talk about my feelings on Natland. I was quite disappointed in Natland and thought that they could have done so much more with it. Now, it also sucks because Natland was right after Fontaine, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Now, don't get me wrong, Fontaine did have its issues, namely the prison arc, but I thoroughly enjoyed Acts 1 and 2 of Fontaine. It was probably because I'm someone who enjoys murder mystery as well as the game Danganronpa. Between the story and gameplay, it was very Danganronpa coded, and I loved it. As I said before, the prison arc was a little bit of a letdown, as well as just boring in general. However, with all that being said, I didn't expect Natland to top Fontaine in any way, mainly because Fontaine held a lot of tropes and styles that I love. So all in all, I wasn't expecting Natland to blow me out of the water as much as Fontaine did. However, even with all that, Natland was quite a letdown, and there's a few reasons why, which has nothing to do with the theme or style of this region. One of my major complaints with Natland is the lack of character personality, development, and just us as a viewer getting to know the characters. In Act 1, we meet Kachina, but we know next to nothing about her. All we know is that she's going to be fighting in this tournament, and she greatly lacks self-esteem and confidence. So we spend some of Act 1 trying to build up that confidence. Other than that, we know nothing about her. We don't know her life outside of this tournament, and other than becoming a strong warrior, we know nothing of her ambitions or goals. So when it comes time to root for her in the tournament, there is no tension, there is no hype. Not only that, but we also know that it's a classic underdog story. We know that she's going to win because why wouldn't she? Everything that we've done leading up to this tournament is so that she can win, so that she can prove herself. So the stakes and the tension is not there, which makes it feel boring. The same thing happened with Milani. Outside of her being a tour guide and a happy-go-lucky person, we don't know anything else. And this happens to a majority of the characters within the Archon quest, which in all honesty has made me feel very disconnected. Not to mention, but the pacing was all over the place. A typical story follows what we call a story arc. You have the introduction, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the conclusion. A lot of Natland's Archon quest doesn't follow that arc, which created a lot of pacing issues. And in all honesty, the most notorious act for said pacing issues was the final act. I hated the final act. We were stuck at a party for half of the Archon quest, and within said party, nothing really happened. And in all honesty, you can take that party scene out, and nothing in the story would change. Because in the party quest, we didn't get any more information, it didn't build upon the characters, it didn't build upon the world. It was just there. So when it came time for us to fight the big bad villain, I didn't care. I just wanted to get the story over and done with. I was done. I was so checked out that I just didn't care. And because of how much I hated the Archon quest, how I didn't really care about the characters, and how I wasn't a fan of the exploration, I ended up putting Genshin down for about 6 months. Now, I wasn't burnt out of the game, not at all. I ended up actually picking up Infinity Nikki, which was another open world gacha game. So it wasn't the fact that I was burnt out, it was just the fact that there was nothing within the game that I wanted to do, that I was looking forward to doing. So anyway, where does this leave us with Nodcry? And why did I love it? Well, in all honesty, it's because it did everything right. It fixed all of the major complaints that I had with Natlands. The pacing was astronomically better, and in all honesty, it was probably the best that it's been in any Archon quest. I cared about the characters, but I didn't just care about the characters themselves, I also cared about the interactions and friendships that they had with other characters. The interactions between Aino and Anefa were just adorable and cute. It made each character's personality shine. Even Jehoda and Nefer's relationship was both interesting and funny to watch. I got to know so much about these characters, why they act a certain way or why they make certain decisions. And because I was able to connect with these characters a lot more, the scenes where tensions and stakes were rising had me at the edge of my seat wondering how this was all going to play out, if the characters that I love was going to walk away unscathed. Because of all that, I thoroughly enjoyed the quest. And for me personally, there really was never a dull moment within the quest. Sure, there were moments within the quest that were slow, but I thought that they were well placed. I felt like those moments was when we get to know those characters better. All in all, I'm really excited to see where Notcry goes, and I hope that they keep up with this level of storytelling throughout all of Notcry and beyond. Now, as for how I'm feeling about the exploration within Notcry compared to Natland, I'm definitely enjoying exploring Notcry a hell of a lot more than I enjoyed exploring Natland. And in all honesty, the reason why is because in Natland, I did not like the Saurians. Now, before you come with your pitchforks and torches, hear me out. First and foremost, I enjoy the Saurians' designs and the part that they play in the quests. However, I did not like them as travel gimmicks. Now, personally, I am not a huge travel gimmick person. I enjoy taking my time and just running around the map. The only time that I would use some sort of fast travel would be if I'm grinding an enemy or finding some local specialties to level up characters. Other than that, I just walk everywhere. And to be honest, when I'm doing exploration like this, I bring in this exploration team that has the Traveler, Yelan, Navia, and Layla. Now, you may be wondering, why this team? In all honesty, it feels weird traveling a new region without the Traveler. Yelan's, then I can pick off some of the smaller mobs of enemies easier. Navia's there if I want to mine rocks, but also if I'm dealing with one or two more tankier enemies. And then of course, Layla for shielding, so that way then I don't die. I enjoy exploring with this team because it feels way more balanced. While I do have characters in this team that can deal damage, they aren't dealing enough damage where I end up one-shotting everything, which makes fighting the overworld enemies fun, as it's a bit more challenging. Now, I'm getting a bit off topic here, but I do want to say one more thing. Even though that I'm someone who likes to explore a bit more slowly, that's not everyone's style. Even though that I don't use the travel gimmicks, other people do. And because of that, they should be in the game. My issue with the Saurians was that I felt like I was forced to use them. Not so much within the area that we got in 5.0, but more so in Oshka Natland and further on. Not only did I feel like I was forced to use them, they were also very clunky as well. And again, majority of my issues stem from the areas that came in 5.2. 5.0 Saurians felt fine. They felt clunky at times, but not to the point where it impaired my ability to explore. Plus, even though that there were some areas where I did need to use the Saurians, they were very few and far between. However, I felt like all of that changed in 5.2, especially Oshka Natland. I hate the Kukasaurs with a burning passion. Oh my god. They were clunky to use. Now, I don't know if that's because I was using a controller or what, but I could never get those birds to do anything that I wanted. Not to mention the amount of phlogiston those birds used is astronomical. Trying to explore and fly around that area using the Kukasaurs was frustrating to say the least. Which sucks because the area of Oshka Natland is amazing. Aesthetic-wise, it's one of my favorite places within Natland, but the exploration was horrendous, which is sad because not only was I forced to use the Kukasaur or pull for a limited 5-star character, which I didn't really want, for the first time ever, I hated exploring an area. I'm actually one of those few people that enjoyed exploring the desert in Sumeru, and while I didn't love exploring in Azuma, I didn't hate it either. Oshka Natland is the first area where I hated exploring it. With all that being said, I'm really glad that they went back to their roots with the exploration gimmicks in Notcry. Now to sum up my overall thoughts and feelings about Notcry. It's a step in the right direction. The story was entertaining and engaging. The characters had unique personalities that played a role within their relationships with other characters, as well as the story. The regional design is absolutely gorgeous and breathtaking, and the music is to die for, and the exploration brings me back to why I love running around Genshin's map. However, we'll just have to wait and see if that stays the same within the upcoming patches. And that is how far I got into exploring Nocrai and leveling up Lauma. Over the course of me editing this video, I have gone through and done some more exploration and also continued to build Lauma. So here's where I'm currently at with that. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like on your way out, and if you don't wish to miss any future content from me, like me trying to pull C3 Yulan when she comes out, then don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, see ya.